What is up, guys? I Crow with Spilt Milk here. I was going to do my usual mid-season video, but what's happening is in Formula One right now is very juicy. So I thought I'd cover that today. Wow, Oscar Piastri. Is he Alpine or is he not? It's wow, what a story! What a huge story this is. So how did we get here? So on the 27th of July, Sebastian Vettel announced his retirement from F1 on social media. And then we had, on that weekend, we had the Hungarian Grand Prix as normal, all normal, all fine. And then on the Monday after the Grand Prix, Fernando Alonso dropped a bombshell. He's the one that's going to be taking Vettel's seat at Aston Martin. Accompanied with a quote from Alonso saying he's very excited to work for the team. He sees, progress for the team. The new facilities being built at Silverstone. Um, so yeah, he's going to be going to Aston Martin in 2023, and then that means there's a seat open at Alpine, and then we all thought to us that in the F1 community we thought, oh, that'll be tomorrow we'll have Piastri will be confirmed at Alpine, and lo and behold, the day after on the Tuesday, yesterday in fact, that was the 2nd of August. Alpine did announce that Piastri will be driving for them in 2023, but Oscar, when these announcements are made, normally the driver has a quote, leaves a quote, or basically saying they're excited about the challenge ahead, or excited about joining the new team, or I'm looking forward to see, to the new facilities being built at this team base, blah blah blah. But when it was announced, it basically said Ocon, Spencer Ocon and Oscar Piastri confirmed lineup for 2023. There was no quote from Piastri. Let's also note that this was posted at a time when in Australia that everyone will be asleep. Oscar Piastri, he's Australian, so who knows? Perhaps he was asleep when this was announced. So when he wakes up, I think Alpine will think, well, this will be a lovely surprise for him to see that he's been confirmed as an Alpine driver. But it completely backfired because Oscar Piastri, he then sent out a tweet himself saying, this is not true. I haven't signed anything with Alpine and I will not be driving for Alpine next season. And if you read between the lines, there's a lot to unpack there. So if you're not driving out for Alpine, where will you be driving for next season? Well, the original plan if you ask Alpine, and this is the reason why a reason that Alonso left Alpine. The plan was Alonso was going to drive at Alpine for 2023, and the idea was Piastri will be loaned out to a team like Williams, Aston Martin, Aston Martin for example, as a season of evaluation to see, okay, let's see what you can do in a F1 car. So many times a driver cruises through the lower formulae and then completely flops at Formula One. But yeah, the idea was, Piastri had a season at Williams, Aston Martin, to evaluate him, and then Alpine offered Alonso a 1+1 contract, essentially a 1 year, and then an option for a second year depending on how Piastri goes. And then at the end of 2023, Alpine will sit down and have a look, compare both drivers, and think, okay, do we want to promote Piastri now, or do we think Piastri is not going to be good enough at all? Or do we give him, we're not convinced yet, do we give him another season at Williams or Aston Martin, just to be absolutely sure he's the right man? And then Alonso, he took initiative himself. So it sounds like from what we've seen, Alonso made this decision himself. He probably would say he was pushed out of Alpine. Obviously, Alpine want to keep hold of Piastri, and so on and so forth. So Alonso thought, well, I'll go for this Aston Martin seat. They've got great potential. Never roll the dice, perhaps, while it's available, because it could be the case where when Piastri go, um, is announced at Alpine eventually, there'll be no seats available for Alonso, so he'd have to retire again. So that's probably the reason why Alonso picked Aston Martin. Also, as far as I know, Aston Martin I think it's the only team on the grid with no junior academy. I know it has ties with Mercedes, and I suppose they could ask Mercedes for one of their drivers if they need someone to fill the seats, for example. This means that Alonso can race for as long as he wants, and until he wants to retire, or he doesn't have to worry about having to make room for a youngster. So that's probably why Alonso, has gone to Aston Martin to being race there for as long as he wants. He doesn't have to worry about being ousted, for example. And then roll the dice, and hopefully Aston Martin, will eventually be a good team. So the big question is though, in that tweet that Oscar Piastri made, he said, not be racing for Alpine next season." So who will he be racing for? Well, the original plan was that he was going to go to Williams to replace Nicholas Latifi for a season, um, and then there's all this other information saying basically he's going to replace Ricardo at McLaren. So I would think it'd be McLaren because if you could choose between McLaren, Alpine, and Williams, you definitely wouldn't choose Williams. You'd choose either Alpine or McLaren. And seeing as Oscar Piastri completely, said no to Alpine, he's going to have to he obviously must have signed a deal with McLaren. For him to to be brazen out there to say, "I will not be racing for Alpine," you're basically biting the hand off the person that feeds you. So it's a very bold statement from Piastri. So I can only assume that he must have a deal in place with McLaren. They just haven't announced it yet. And I suppose what McLaren need to do, they need to sort out what they're doing with Daniel Ricciardo. Like, is he going to go race for a different series, or will he go to Alpine now that there's a seat at Alpine? Maybe there'll be some sort of deal there. Daniel Ricciardo going back to Alpine, what a story. Um, so there's a lot to unpack here with the Piastri Gate. I am going to be making my mid-season report video, but with what's going on at the moment, I'm going to hold off for a bit and with the pop with some with a cat with some popcorn and see what happens, and then see how that goes on the video. There might be some more transfers or other movements in that thing in that. So perhaps we'll give it a week or two, and then and hopefully there'll be a video of me doing my midterm report. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you soon in my mid-season video. And we'll wait and see what happens at Piastri. Will he drive for Alpine? Will he drive for McLaren, or not get a drive at all? And completely miscalculated it. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.